Evict your back. Evict your back. Evict your back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I don't know. Look at my beard, man. My beard looking good, huh? Yes, I've been doing this myself. I went to the barber and got encouraged to just start doing it myself. So let me know. Let me know. I know I had to cut some of that white away. It was not. It was really white. I didn't realize, and I'm not that damn old. So, anyways, listen. This is a little bit after 10 o'clock. I've worked on my chest this evening. I got here, I want to say about 8:30, 8:45 or something like that. And the question that I have for you tonight is, how bad do you want it? Whatever it is that you're doing, uh, whatever it is that you want to do, whether it's that your heart's desire, whether it's that you want to increase your cardio, you want strength and get stronger, maybe it's that you want to lose some weight, uh, whatever it is, if it's you want financial freedom. For me right now, there's a few different things that I want, and this is one of them, get down to 170, 175 pounds. So I'm at the gym at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, whatever time it takes in order for me to get to where I need to go, in order to get down to 170, 175. And my question tonight to you is, how bad do you want it? I want it pretty bad. So I'm willing to sacrifice. And sacrifice is giving up all the different things um, that you have to give up in order for you to acquire that one thing or those some things that you want to acquire, that while everybody else is sitting at home, resting, eating chips, doing whatever it is that they're doing, you're out working, you're out busting your tail, and you're getting it while everybody else is not. So you're going to be able to achieve the things in life that only people wish for. And then you got those people that become your haters, because he's doing it, or yeah, he did that, but how quick he did it. Nah, man, it wasn't that quick, and it wasn't that easy. Because I'd rather have gone home and laid in the bed and gone to sleep and gotten up in the morning and just going, and do my normal routine in the morning. But instead of doing that, there's the book called Habits by Charles Duhigg. And this book it talked about triggers and cues, which lead to what's called routines, which ultimately form your habits. And before I had a lot of different things that I would, let me pick this up a little bit, that I would do. That would be my cues and my triggers that would lead me to a routine, which would be laying in the bed and eating chips, candy. I had a person in my life that loved candy. I called it a candy monster. She's no longer in my life, and I promise you, since I got away from that, I don't eat candy anymore, man. I don't have the desire to eat candy like that, and I'm very happy for that. I now have to focus on teaching my kids to not have that as a habit, because as long as they're around that kind of habit, the cues and triggers is just to be able to say, you know what, I want something to eat. The routine is, instead of going in and getting some lunch and meat, or not processed lunch and meat, but some meat like chicken or something like that that's not necessarily processed, and then habit putting routine, for taking your routine and putting it into habit, which is not eating protein instead of all that candy. You start eating the candy, you lay down, and you get some chips. Next thing you know, you're gaining weight, and you're wondering where this belly is coming from, or you're wondering where, all the extra weight is coming from, and it's coming from the habits that you're forming by way of the routine, by way of the cues and triggers. Some people have to deal with what's called depression, and when you're dealing with depression could be that cue or trigger. Maybe it's a loss of relationship, it's a loss of family member, it's a loss of a job, a loss of some finances, a loss of your mind, at the very least, you know what I'm saying? Because talk about between your ears is a scary place to be. Because if you put it there, this is what I heard today. I was talking with somebody, and they told me, you know what, you don't have to react to what somebody's doing, but you can respond to what it is that you feel. So, they can come at you any which way that they want to. But the question is, will you react to them, or will you respond in the way that you know that you should be reacting, and let them be what they are? You don't have to take a hold of someone else's anger. And sometimes by you taking hold of someone else's anger, it keeps you from getting to the pinnacle of where you want to go. Sometimes your own anger is you believing that you're not worthy enough in order to make it. or that you're not worthy enough in order to deserve to make it. And that's what focus, acquire, and transforming is about. Evicting your fat is about getting out that crazy stinking thinking out of your head so that you can produce and that you can get to the next level and that you can be free. You can be free mind, body, and soul. And you don't have to worry about, what anybody else is thinking, what anybody else is saying, because that really don't matter to you. Your goals are so paramount that whatever it is that they're talking about is kind of like bull. It's like, you got to go. It's kind of like an ant on your arm. You just kind of slap it off and keep it pushing. You don't worry about it. It's not like you worry that this ant is going to get you or that it's going to take over you. No, right? What do? You just brush it off. So that's what you have to do. You have to brush it off. A duck just lets the water back roll off its back. So I'm gonna tell you a story, and this is how you get over the hump. There was this goat. The goat had fell into the well. You may have heard this story, but I'm just gonna tell it to you. The goat fell into the well, and the farmer, he tried everything. He put the bucket down there to make the goat get in the end, and the goat wouldn't get in there because the goat was too scared. It was too far down. He tried sending some rope down there where he could wrap it around the goat's body, but every time he did that, it kind of wrapped around his neck, and he didn't want to kill the goat. So he tried and tried and tried. He called friends. He even tried to get a ladder down there, but the ladder was not long enough in order for him to make it down there. And he knew he couldn't get down there and bring the goat back up because he didn't have nobody to bring him back up. So what he did, instead of, he figured, well, that's the end of the goat. So what he wanted to do was he was going to bury the goat and bury the goat alive. So he took the shovel and started taking dirt and throwing it down there. And what happened with the goat is the goat would have the shovel, but have the dirt hit its head and hit the back, and he would just shake it off, right? And by him shaking it off, it fell to the ground. Well, then he would start stomping with his feet, stomp, 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 stomp. And every time that the farmer would throw more dirt in there, he would shake it off, and it would stomp, 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 stomp. Well, eventually, what happened was over a period of time, as he was stomping this, it was starting to raise the goat back up. The goat was slowly starting to ascend up in the well. And over a period of time, the farmer kept thinking that he was burying his goat, and he would go, and he would just shake it off. And eventually, what happened was, by him shaking it off and him stomping down on the ground, he kept elevating. He kept ascending, kept elevating, kept going up and up and up. And from the place of where he was at rock bottom. Sometimes you got to hit rock bottom so you know where God is your rock, at the bottom. And in this instance, the goat didn't allow himself to stay in status quo, stay at the bottom. He said, you know what? I got my rock. I'm strong. I got this. He said, I'm just going to shake it off, and I'm going to stomp it down under me. And he said he was going to put whatever it was that was above him, below him, so this way he could ascend. The moral of the story is that if you want to get to that next level, you have to be like that goat. And even though those people are throwing dirt on you, thinking that they're just going to bury you alive, and that that they figure that they've got the last laugh, and that's the end of the story. You see, the story is that you shake it off, and then you stomp down on the ground that dirt that allows you to you use it as your catapult to ascend you back up, to elevate you back up to where you need to be, to where you belong and where you deserve. So I ask you, what are you willing to sacrifice? How bad do you want it? Are you like that goat that you're willing to just shake it off and stomp on it under you? Or are you the other one where that you just succumb to the dirt hitting you, and eventually it covers your legs? Eventually it covers your body. Eventually it's just your neck that's out there, and eventually all that dirt covers your head and you die in the well. Or do you shake it off and you stomp it off and you start ascending to the top? What are you? What are you willing to pay? What are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to be out in the gym at this time in order for you to lose the weight like I am? Are you willing to go out walking with your friends? Maybe, I got a friend of mine that lives back here in the Midwest, and ever since she left, all of a sudden now she's walking a mile and a half, 2 miles with her friend because she found a new environment. What she did was she changed her cues and her triggers by leaving a certain place that always kept her in a certain mental state. And by doing that, that changed her cues and her triggers. She got more excited. She got this vigor inside of her life. She shook off the dirt and stomped on the ground and allowed her to start ascending. And now her routine is that she's out there walking. Her habit is that she's going to start dropping the weight. She's going to start feeling good. She's going to start transforming. and she's acquiring the necessary skills in order for her to transform into what God's created her to be. But what she had to do was she had to focus on getting out from those cues and triggers that weren't allowing her and shaking off that dirt that was keeping her down, and use the dirt that was keeping her down to put it under her feet to elevate her. So you go. I know you know who I'm talking about. I ain't gonna say your name, but that's why. Yeah, wait. I'm not gonna bust around. So all I say to you is this: is that how bad do you want it? Are you willing to look at the cup as being half full or half empty? If you're looking at it as being half empty, well, you're right. But if you're looking at it as being half full, you're right also. It's your choice. You know, it's no stinking thinking mentality. That means that the cup is half full and that you're focusing on the necessary skills that you need to acquire, and then you're acquiring them into mastery to transform you into your greatness. That greatest thing that you've ever wanted to become. That person that you've always known that has been inside. That gray matter that you used to look at, but now it's full of color. That's who you're becoming. And that's who I'm becoming. We'll become that together. Just keep going. Don't stop. You know what I'm saying? Go to the top. Use what you have, even if it's in that indomitable spirit inside of you that you're so pissed off about sometimes. Use that. Use that. My dad used to call it a negative motivator. Rest his soul. And he used to tell me, Dad, Freddie, you know, you're using this. This is that negative motivator that you really don't need to be using. Well, sometimes you need that. Sometimes that's what you need in order for you to get to that next level. I had to use it. Now I don't have to use the negative. I use the positive. I start thinking about the things and I respond to what's going on instead of reacting to what's going on. And that has been one of the greatest things that has ever happened in my life. So I say to you, again, I don't know how bad you want it, but if you want it bad, you're going to be up late. You're going to be trudging through the trenches. And then what's going to happen is you're going to look back and you're going to see other people following, other people looking at you, other people lurking, because they're like, either they're looking at you and say, oh, that fool is going to fail. Or they're, oh, look at Freddie go. Whichever way it is, use it. Use it to your advantage. In media, they says there's no press. Any press is good press, whether it's negative press, bad press, or good press, because they get their names out there. Get your name out there. Go. Go. Go! I'll see you next time. I'm out of here. I only got 13 minutes in. I got about another 32 minutes because I'm going to get off of here at 45 minutes. But I'm going to keep going. I'll get 3-4 miles in, and then I'm getting home. I'm going to go to get some rest. But I ain't going to get to bed till about maybe 11:30. I'll get back up in the morning, and I'll start my routine. Are you willing to do the extra work so that you can have the things that only the other people dream about? Are you? Now go. Go. You make the fat. Go. Focus. Acquire. Transform, baby.